Ogden Twilight crit. This was a new crit, at least for most of us, that was put together a couple days before the Salt Lake crit series that happened about a week ago, and this was my first time doing it. It was also one of my first times doing a PreRace. As you guys saw, I've tried them at Athens Twilight, and it didn't work very well. Here we are again, P1-2 race, as I'm still a category 2, trying to get some points to move up. And so my goal was just to finish this race. I haven't finished the race of this level yet, so that was the main goal, and anything on top of that would be a bonus. So we're looking at a 1 hour crit of a very, very fast course with some really strong teams. As you guys can see in the top right corner, the course practically has no corners. It's kind of this oval where the first corner at this level of racing, it's just very fast and smooth, which is awesome. So you guys saw in the first lap some recognizable teams and names, and now we move forward a little bit. To me, just kind of floating the group, using whatever skills I have and what I've learned to just move myself up. So pretty much the whole time I'm trying to save energy, and then when I see an opportunity like this where I can keep pedaling softly and move myself up, I do so. So I was almost at the back of the group there, and then I just kept pedaling, and which moved myself towards right the back of this move here on the right side of the group, and just like that, I'm on a move or in a move, and I'm like 5th or 6th wheel. So that worked out pretty well. I keep following this guy here who is very strong, didn't have any teammates, and ended up getting some sweet preems in the first day of the Salt Lake crit. So then we move forward about 20 laps, and kind of the same happens. So we're literally halfway into the crit. I'm feeling pretty good, and I see an opportunity to move myself up through the group as it's kind of coming together, but there's also gaps. So I kind of just put a little bit of power, literally nothing crazy, and move myself up onto those first 10 to 15 wheels. So by just keeping consistent power going, I'm able to not have to spike and follow these fast moves. And as you guys can see in the rear camera, because we're going so fast, there's a gap opening, quite a big gap that obviously someone's going to have to close, but I was able to be at the front of that just by being efficient. So here you see we get into this first corner, and I was just where I needed to be. So part 3, the Aviator train, something I wanted to highlight. I was hanging out a lot with the Austin Aviators team. There I get yelled at by one of the New Zealand guys. I honestly didn't think I was doing anything wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, go back, watch it, tell me what I was doing wrong. Anyways, so I find Christian from the Aviators here in front of me, and I see that they're trying to get organized for the sprint. We're about 18 minutes from the end. Iman, who's their sprinters, there on the left side, and just putting a little bit of a last dig before they prepare for that sprint finish. We move up to lap 47 here, where see Iman on my left, who I've raced with in Europe, and just is my coach, and I love riding and racing with him. Felt really comfortable just taking turns close to him and just having a great time. So I hop on his wheel with only 13 minutes to go, knowing that he's going to sprint, and just try to hold on to his wheel as it starts getting spicier and spicier and people want to move up. And I was feeling good to finish the race. I wanted to make sure that I played it the smartest for myself to finish as close to the front as possible. So here you see 10 laps to go. I'm on Iman's wheel, and everyone's trying to move up and get organized. The teams that have trains and sprinters are trying to get themselves organized. So here Christian needs to get on Iman's wheel, so I let him do that, and I get on his wheel as they're trying to get their train going. So that's 2 of them. You're going to see Connor in the white national champs jersey of Bermuda come at some point, and also Greg from the Aviators with the Barbados national champs jersey. So there's 4 of them, and they're trying to do this lead-out train for Iman. So with only 9 minutes to go, we're pretty close to the front, but we're not going that fast. So everyone is trying to come to the front to get their respective train's going, as I mentioned before. So we get a good line here to move ourselves up. Obviously, they don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to survive and be close to the front. So I'm kind of just seeing what they're doing and trying to mirror it. So with only a few laps to go, something happens there that I'm not supposed to show, so I won't. And I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But basically, Christian sends one last flyer and yeah, gets the rhythm back up so that we're not also bunched up. Skipping a couple laps ahead here, you see Connor on the left, who is the lead out man for Iman, showing up, and then Christian here coming back from that break, getting behind Iman to do his sweeping duties, as he's been basically on breakaways all day. So one of the Empire guys gets in front of him, he's going to go around him to get him in his respectful position. And yeah, the train is coming together. I believe that Greg was also in charge of breakaways and getting making sure the pace was high. He comes around at some point, but at this point, from here to the end, basically in the last 5-6 laps, it's Connor's job to get to the finish line. So you sit there on the right, Aviators, that's Greg that I mentioned. He's just trying to stay around his teammates at this point. His job is done. So any finish that he gets on top of that is a bonus. So again, I'm trying to hold their wheel because I know that the closer I stay to their wheel, the better of a finish I'm going to have. And so as you see, the pace starts picking up quite a bit. The group is getting stretched out as teams are going to the front and making sure that it doesn't get too bunched up, which then obviously causes a messy sprint. So again, I was feeling pretty good. Obviously, my heart rate is high as is everyone's, but at this point, it all comes down to skills and experience, which I don't have a lot of, if any, at this level, but I have a lot of experience in just racing my bike all over the world and holding it, appropriately, whatever that means. So yeah, I find myself on Greg's wheel, who isn't necessarily involved with the Aviators train, but obviously is a great wheel to follow because of his experience and just racecraft. He's won stuff like Tulsa Tough before in my category, which is obviously very impressive. So I'm gonna stick to his wheel till the end and just see what happens. You see there the Aviators train on the left side of just Connor and Christian doing their thing. I kind of wish, looking back, that I would have stayed on their wheels because it was probably the smoothest, best path to the finish as you see them moving up and getting in a better position as we enter 3 to go. But again, I'm still in a good position. I need to keep fighting for wheels. I've learned that that's what this is all about in these last few laps of a pro crit. You're just fighting for wheels. Everyone is fit and fast. It's just about who plays it the smartest, who obviously being on a team and having a team to help you makes a huge difference. So there's that. Being an individual is a lot harder. As you saw there, Josh Lebo getting dropped on the right side as he doesn't have teammates and is a very strong time trialist, so he tried to send it off the front, and once he got caught, that was kind of the day over for him. But you see here Greg moving up. It's a really tight squeeze, so I kind of get pushed back a couple wheels. Then I find his I find his wheel again with 2 to go, and I'm not that far from the front, but I'm way too far from the front to be competitive. Still, I'm just happy to be here, happy to be finishing a pro crit, and now I need my only thought was to stay safe, make sure I don't do anything stupid. If I'm too tired, to just move back, play it smart, as everyone should. But I felt good enough to where, and confident enough to where I would just slide into any gaps that I'd see to move myself up and finish as far up in the standings as I could. So I knew that Greg was going to do that too, and he would be the best wheel to follow in this case scenario. So we're about to enter the last lap. You see we're going very, very fast, nearly 40 miles an hour, 60 km an hour. And then obviously the trains at the front of the sprinters are going very, very fast. Here on my left, we have Cody King, who won my race at the Boise Twilight, which I posted about 2 days ago. It was really cool to race with those guys amongst the pros. So Christian there on the right did his job. Now we're going just ridiculously fast in this last lap, as everyone is just trying to get the best result possible. So yeah, I'm feeling good, but I got pushed back quite a bit, and I can't even see the front anymore. You can see them up ahead getting ready for the sprint. I follow Greg's wheel, who puts in a really good dig here to go around a few more guys, and then puts in another dig after that to go around even more guys on the outside of this left turn. So I just follow him, and yeah, that was kind of my race. I looked at him and just threw my bike just for silliness purposes, and ended up with 16th place in my first P12 finish.